You ever think outside the bun, Eric?
Hey, speaking of Taco Bell,
Speak of them.
I'm going to use that as a segue because every time I drive by a Taco Bell, I see an ad for PlayStation VR.
Yeah, they are pushing it hard.
They are. That's the only place I see ads for it. But that reminds me, let's not talk about Taco Bell. Let's talk about PlayStation VR.
Okay.
It came out. It's out. VR is accessible in the console world.
Consumer can get a hold of it now.
Yes. And man, it feels weird having it, I have to say. Having that in the home,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've felt this way. Having it in the home is weird because I was just looking at it and I was like, I waited through so many shitty lines at game conventions and shit
To try this.
to try VR, no matter what it was.
Right.
It was always a pain in the ass to try VR, and it's like, oh my god, finally it's in my house.
It's this golden helmet.
years.
Seriously,
Years and years.
San Diego Comic-Con, we had to sneak our way into seeing the Resident
You know
Evil
what?
7 demo.
That's a good point. It almost felt like VR was never going to come out.
Really? It
And
really
now,
did.
And now I set my PlayStation VR up today. It's sitting in my living room.
Yeah.
It's still, I still kind of don't believe that I have VR.
I totally
still
agree.
hook this thing up and I think like, yeah, but this isn't real VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be real.
I haven't played it yet because I'm installing
That was
everything.
just today.
I just got it today and I came to the podcast, so I haven't played any of the stuff. But I did put it on and I saw the 50-foot screen in front of you. I felt like I was in an IMAX theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. I held my hand out and I laughed because you really do expect to hold, like, see your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time I try VR, I do the same thing. I expect to see my hand and I don't see it, and then I laugh because like, it's not there.
It does do that though with certain controllers. They will actually be there when you
Wow.
hold them up.
Yeah.
It'll show a CG version of
Yeah.
that controller.
Right. Of the
So
controller
sometimes
or
they're not
a
that
gun or a knife.
Yeah.
Lots of cables.
Yeah. A lot of cables.
My living room is like a gross explosion of cables. It looks like one
Mine's
of
getting
those like Sentinel things from the Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Came
Squiddy.
and like fucked my TV. Like there's all these like just
Sexy.
because I have an Xbox 360, a PlayStation 3, a Wii, a Wii U, a PlayStation 4 now, and then the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So it's just cables and shit going everywhere.
Yeah.
That's all.
No,
Looks like the Sentinel fucked my TV. I'm gonna stick with that.
I normally-
because it's appropriate.
I normally try to keep my whole setup really neat. but
Yours is
that,
streamlined.
That went out the fucking window with this thing. There's so many.
You do-
so many cables.
You got to stretch it across the room now.
Yeah.
Is the only thing now.
Yeah, I had no option because I knew a kid was gonna pull on something or whatever, so it has to be. Mine's pretty organized and tucked away. You know what's funny about this is like, you know, it's so rad. I have not been disappointed at all so far. I mean, obviously I just got it and I haven't done everything with it, but I don't trust being in the room with people. Like Eric was saying, like I was playing and people in the house and someone like touched the back of my neck like this so softly. It was like, fuck this. It does kind of like
Yeah, it sucks you out of it. One of the kids did that?
But no, Jenny did that.
Oh, wow.
But still, it's it's like
One of the kids gently caressing.
I don't know. Maybe they were teasing him.
Father.
I lucked out, and I haven't had a lot of time to play mine yet, but the time I have had with it has been at home by myself, and the doors are locked.
What's your favorite experience so far? Because it's the demo disc and VR World, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't get VR Worlds. I just got the core system because I
Okay.
already had all the
Yeah.
accessories.
Okay.
So the demo disc, I've kind of checked out a little bit. The loading times are very long, which is weird.
it is long. It
To
is
go
long,
in between stuff,
the
it takes a long
demos.
time.
Yes,
so long.
very long.
But it's
How
cool because
long?
there's a lot of stuff.
long?
minute?
Minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
minutes.
long.
2 minutes?
For me, it's like a minute, but it's long. It is long.
It's weird because when it's the first thing you do, you put on the helmet and it's like, wow, there's a lot of just darkness with a loading thing, and I just got this. Don't play that first. Play
Yeah.
something else first,
Yeah.
maybe.
I recommend, honestly, the first thing you play is either the demo or the game of Rez. Rez in VR,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to me, is the best example of a totally unreal world, but it's a realized world. It's an impressive world, and it's so fucking big around you. You are looking around, oh my God, it's like the last 20 minutes of 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's like, oh my God, you're looking behind you and things are flying around. It's an impressive world, and that to me is where VR really shines. Now that I have it and I've used it, I really feel like its strength is awesome worlds. I can play, like, people keep recommending, like, play this puzzle game, play Job Simulator. Those entertain me for like 10 minutes. I just, it's like a mini game and I'm done. But what brings me around over and over are these impressive worlds. And again, like Batman, they put out this Batman game and it's short. And a lot of people are attacking it that it's short. Okay, and it is short. But I was blown away. I was honestly blown away by it because they did such a great job realizing Gotham and the Batcave and all these locations that I've known about my whole life, and I'm there. I'm looking over the rail, and I could see the cave down there. I'm looking down the alley, and I see a clue. It just feels so. I don't know. It's just like that. That's the power of VR to me.
Yeah,
is something that it's realized rather than like hitting a ball. You know,
I really do forget, especially playing it for like more of an extended period of time than I would at a convention. You know, sitting in my room for more than 5 minutes, I lose that I'm playing VR and I'm just in that world.
Yeah.
And Derek, you were asking me what I played mainly. It's this game called the Brookhaven Incident.
Okay, what's that?
I think it's called Brookhaven Incident. It's a shooter that it was the only thing that I could find that seemed to be like a shooting gallery kind of thing.
Okay.
So you are in a static position. You don't move or anything. But you can use the two move controllers to have like a gun and a flashlight.
Yeah.
And then stuff is coming at you there's like a survival mode and like another story mode. But stuff kind of comes at you from all 360 degrees and you got to kind of time it and listen. And you can like shoot these, mutants over here and shine your flashlight at this one and look at your gun to reload and you can see your hands waved in front of you. You can switch weapons.
One thing about the VR, I did try the headset on today. I felt like with the earbuds and the helmet being connected with the double HDMI, it's very like you are hooked up to a machine.
Yeah.
It's like kind of cumbersome and weird.
To me, it was like
to put on
the Matrix. Like
I like
I'm in that
putting it
little
on,
pod. And
you definitely have to like sling the cable over your shoulder,
Yeah,
and like when you take the headset off, you can't put it down because your ears are connected to it, so you're kind of like awkwardly holding on to everything.
I'm not into the earbuds.
I'm not either.
I'm into like a surround sound turned way up.
Yeah, sure.
But you having that luxury of being home alone, that may be not as an issue.
I did like. I think it's for me. It's situational. I liked earbuds better for res, turning them up way loud and having that really close. It felt better for that game, but like Batman, I liked the surround sound better.
Okay.
It felt like, okay, I'm in like alleyways and stuff.
Right.
I don't need to have that piped into my ears.
Yeah.
Now-
You know what I mean? Like I was fine with it being around me.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say with Res, I played that as well, and I was saying like I feel like I'm putting a lot of faith in these developers' hands, saying like, all right, don't fuck with me because I will throw up. Like, do not like with Res. There was a moment where like the guy's running, but you
I
start.
see you're having a lot of trust issues with the VR.
I am. Well, there's like moments where it's like, okay, stop doing that. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Like there's the VR luge thing. I can't play that. That to me was too much. Where it's like I feel kind of sick. Also, I did the shark encounter thing, and that was great. It was cool. But there was a moment where it kind of glitched for a second, and it started like shaking just a little bit, and I was like, oh, and like it just like that made me a little like queasy. Like
That sounds like a tracking thing.
it is.
Yeah.
It is, and I gotta look into that. But I'm just like, it's just I feel like I am very sensitive to spinning kind of stuff. So like I will get sick easily, which I'm a little nervous about, honestly, when it comes to like other games in the future. Like I don't want
I haven't had any issues with sickness personally, but in terms of the tracking stuff, I really haven't had a lot of problems. It's when I have sat too low, like I was kind of almost sitting on the ground, that it was like, okay, you got to like get up, basically. But I put a chair in the middle of the room, and that was working fine. Yeah, so it hasn't been a big issue for me.
I've been playing a lot of Battlefront on my PlayStation, even though I shit on it so hard when I first got it. It's ended up being my favorite game on PlayStation. I totally have to eat my words. Battlefront has grown on me so much.
Well, it's like we were saying, it doesn't scratch the itch of a Battlefront 3, but it's its own thing and it's fun.
You know what? It kind of does for me.
Does it?
Honestly.
Interesting.
I had a lot of expectations about what I wanted from Battlefront, and it didn't meet those expectations. But I stuck with it, and I was able to find a lot of fun in it, and I'm enjoying it a lot. The thing is, I play it on a 32-inch TV that is up on a television stand, so it's probably like 5 feet in the air, and it's on the other side of the room. So I'm honestly kind of like looking up. I'm far away. When I'm playing multiplayer, like, it's hard to see snipers off in the fucking distance. Yeah. So honestly, when I play it, I stand up and I just stand right in front of my TV. Little kid mode. I just get as close to the TV as I can.
Well, now
I am going to be such a fucking dork because from now on, I'm going to be playing Star Wars in my VR headset.
It gives you it's a 40-foot TV.
Yeah, I got a screen as big as the wall in front of me.
I tried this.
Yeah?
I tried this with Metal Gear Online.
Yeah.
The first night I got it.
Yeah.
That made me sick. That was the only thing.
Really?
That was the only thing. So I made it as wide as I could, and it was like running and moving around was making me so nauseous because it's like a third-person shooter. But then I shrunk it down to like a medium-sized screen, and I could like get kills, but I feel like it made it a lot harder to play.
Really? Well, I'm going to try it out.
It would work for like, I feel Netflix and stuff like that.
I'm just laughing at the idea of the Star Wars experience in 2016.
I mean, try it.
Put this helmet on, put these earphones on, and fight in this battle on another planet.
You know, Battlefront is getting free VR content soon. Like an X-Wing battle thing
awesome.
That is fully 360.
Yeah, the Rogue One thing is what they're advertising
all over
on TV. All over.
And that's what that's what I mean. Compelling worlds. You know, I said this earlier. We went up earlier today, and I said this, but you know, there's a lot of media coming out now, movies and games and stuff that are kind of rehashing old shit and old franchises. I kind of feel like VR is the one place you should do it. Because, again, Rez is an old game.
Battlezone.
But I feel like when I put on the headset, it's like, oh my God, I'm going there.
Yeah.
This has been my favorite game forever, and now I'm here. It was like visiting a dream.
Yeah.
And I want to look at the Star Wars universe. I love looking at Batman's, you know, all this shit, you know? Like, I kind of like these things. Hey, I know obviously Nintendo's not working on VR right now, or maybe they are behind closed doors, but remake Ocarina of Time in that. Let me see Hyrule. Let me, you know, like this is like the one place that's kind of cool revisiting stuff.
You know, there's an app you can get that was like VR video or whatever.
Yeah,
and
there's a few of those.
I got that, and I mean, it's lame, but but there was one thing like an Olympics thing. Like, fuck yeah, I'll check this out. And it was like, I want to show you around Brazil, and it was showing people around. But it's like, you know, the quality wasn't as high definition as I would have liked.
Sure,
but it still was like, there's Christ the Redeemer, and it looks like I'm fucking here. I'm looking around, seeing the tourists around with me.
Cool.
Like,
that's pretty cool.
I just fucking love that. That's so cool. So
very cool. Anything else to be said about PlayStation VR?
No, but
there's a free game that's a version of Playroom that was that free game you can get with the PlayStation camera.
Okay.
How we do our podcast from Rocco's house.
Yeah.
VR Playroom has like 4 or 5 different like mini games in it. That some are just single player, some are one person has the VR goggles, and then like 2 to 3 other people can help them with on-screen stuff. It's free if you get the VR stuff, and that's got a lot of cool like worlds to explore, stuff to collect, the mini games to play. That was the only other thing I did that was pretty fun.
It might be fun to try this somehow, to do it on Friend Dimension one of these days.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely doing PPS stuff with VR. I bought How to Keep Talking and No One Explodes.
Yeah,
I think that would be super fun to do.
That's a great
on
game.
PPS.
We talked about that on here before.
Yeah.
Speaking of Friend Dimension.